Germany for Autobahn cruisers and precision-engineered sedans. But deep in the archives, buried under steel, snow, and war, Germany built machines meant to climb, crawl, and crush anything in their path. Some were born for battle, others for the wildest corners of Earth. This isn't your average car story. This is German off-road history, unfiltered, brutal, and unstoppable. Chapter 1. The Birth of Power. Horch 901. World War II workhorse. The Horch 901 wasn't just another army transport. It was the backbone of Nazi Germany's off-road mobility during World War II. Developed by Auto Union in the late 1930s, the 901 featured full-time four-wheel drive, independent suspension, and a powerful V8 engine, a rarity for its time. It could cruise across war-ravaged roads, frozen tundras, and muddy forests without hesitation. Generals and high-ranking officers often used it for mobile command. It became a symbol of tactical dominance on the Eastern Front, often seen parked near field HQs in the thick of action. After the war, most were destroyed or scavenged for parts by Allied forces. Today, very few examples survive. Scarred, rusted, and hidden away in private collections and military museums. But its influence still visible in Germany's military design legacy. Chapter 2. The Iron Mule. Steyr-Puch Haflinger. It looks like a toy, but the Steyr-Puch Haflinger was an engineering marvel. Tiny, yes, but incredibly capable. Designed in Austria, after World War II, it was later adopted by German border patrol units, mountain rescue teams, and NATO missions. Its mid-engine layout, independent suspension, and all-wheel drive made it practically unstoppable in snow, ice, and steep alpine terrain. What it lacked in armor, it made up for in maneuverability. It could turn on a dime, crawl over boulders, and even be lifted by a few soldiers. Despite its small size, it carried up to half a ton of cargo and passengers. And today, it's a cult classic, used in off-road competitions, museums, and adventure films. It might look like a matchbox car, but off-road, it'll humble a Land Cruiser. Chapter 3. The Cold War Hammer. Mercedes Unimog 404. If one vehicle defined post-war Germany's all-terrain muscle, it was the Mercedes-Benz Unimog 404, nicknamed the Universal Motorgerät, or simply Unimog. It was developed in the 1950s for military transport, logistics, and supply drops in post-war Europe. With massive portal axles, superb ground clearance, and tractor-like torque, the Unimog could climb mountains, swim through floods, and carry nearly 2 tons of equipment. But it wasn't just a truck. It was a multi-role platform. Firefighters used it to reach burning forests. Military units used it to haul ammo and fuel. Even civilians turned it into campers and expedition vehicles. The 404 generation still runs today in war zones, villages, and private collections. It's not just legendary, it's immortal. Chapter 4. The Prototype Beast. VW Iltis. The Volkswagen Iltis might look like a boxy little Jeep, but under the surface, it was decades ahead of its time. Built in the 1970s for the Bundeswehr, it was compact, lightweight, and extremely capable off-road. What set the Iltis apart was its advanced full-time four-wheel drive system, technology that later became the foundation for Audi's Quattro all-wheel drive. That's right, Audi's dominance in rally racing traces its roots back to this humble military scout. It even won the 1980 Paris-Dakar Rally, shocking the world with its rugged reliability and agility. From Arctic snow patrols to Saharan missions, the Iltis was the unsung hero of NATO mobility. And when it retired, It left behind a legacy of innovation. Chapter 5. The People's Trail Rig. DKW Munga. Long before Audi's sleek RS models, there was DKW, one of the four rings of Auto Union. And its greatest off-road creation? The DKW Munga. Developed in the 1950s for West Germany's reformed army, the Munga featured a three-cylinder, two-stroke engine, four-wheel drive, and an open-top design that made it light, fast, and field repairable. It could handle muddy trails, shallow rivers, and steep slopes with ease. It was a favorite for training missions and backline logistics. Soldiers loved it for its simplicity and toughness. And while its smoky exhaust and engine whine weren't exactly stealthy, its impact on German off-road engineering, it is unmistakable. Today, it's a collector's unicorn. And if you find one, don't let it go. Chapter 6. The Goliath. Mercedes-Benz G-Class. G-Wagon. In 1979, Mercedes-Benz released the G-Class, a vehicle originally commissioned by the Shah of Iran for military use. What followed was one of the most iconic off-roaders ever built. The original G-Wagon featured triple locking differentials, body-on-frame construction, and a mechanical soul that loved punishment. German, Austrian, and Swiss militaries deployed the G-Class in dozens of roles, from light patrol to logistics, and even as ambulance platforms. Its modularity and bulletproof drivetrain made it the Swiss Army knife of NATO motor pools. Fast forward to today, and the G-Class has gone luxury, driven by celebrities and sheiks, but the military roots? Hey, still very much alive in versions like the G-Class Professional and LAPV Enoch. It's a Goliath. And it never stopped growing. Chapter 7. The Future That Never Came. Man Cat 1. During the Cold War, Germany built the Man Cat 1 to handle the worst-case scenario. It wasn't just a truck. It was a heavy-duty mobile platform for warfare, with independent torsion bar suspension, all-wheel drive, and insane load capacity. The Cat 1 was designed to move nuclear missiles, radar systems, or even tanks across terrain other trucks would fear. It had an optional EMP-hardened cabin, could be airlifted by NATO helicopters, and had central tire inflation long before it was cool. Its futuristic design and battlefield utility made it a favorite during drills and real deployments. And while it never made headlines like the G-Class, the Cat 1 quietly moved Germany's might through the mud. Even today, refurbished versions compete in extreme off-road rallies, reminders of a Cold War that never went hot. Chapter 8. The War Elephant Sd.Kfz 251 Half-Track. During World War II, Germany didn't just rely on tanks. They needed troop carriers just as rugged. Enter the Sd.Kfz 251, an armored half-track that was part truck, part tank, and all terrifying. With rubber wheels in the front and tank treads in the rear, the 251 could carry troops across war-torn Europe, over rubble, trenches, and minefields. It was armored but fast, versatile but deadly. Used in over a dozen variants, it became the go-to vehicle for mechanized infantry. From Stalingrad to Normandy, the 251 transported more than soldiers. It carried the weight of a strategy that shaped the entire war. Over 15,000 were built. Today, very few survive intact. Most rust in fields, museums, or private bunkers haunted by history. Chapter 9. The Rebel's Ride. Audi Q7 Quattro off-road build. It started as a family SUV. The Audi Q7 Quattro, in off-road form, becomes a trail-conquering rebel. With a turbocharged V6 or V8, adaptive air suspension, and Audi's legendary Quattro AWD, this isn't just a road car. It's a high-tech overland beast when modified. Outfitted with lift kits, bash plates, and oversized tires, the Q7 becomes a stealthy, comfortable off-roader with the DNA of German motorsport. It's not military, it's not a truck. But it's proof that modern German engineering still delivers off the pavement. It's the rebel of the list, sleek, fast, and quietly unstoppable. Chapter 10. The ultimate overland machine. Mercedes Zetros. At the top of the food chain sits the Mercedes Zetros, a 4x4 or 6x6 truck built not just for war, but for surviving the end of civilization. It's used by NATO forces, oil companies, disaster response teams, and ultra-rich adventurers who want to drive to the literal edge of the world. With 1,200 Newton-meter of torque, modular body platforms, and optional armor, it's both a tactical response vehicle and a rolling luxury hotel. Inside, you might find a wood-paneled interior, solar power, satellite comms, or even a hydraulic drone bay. The Zetros isn't just off-road capable, it's apocalypse certified. From battlefield monsters to overland kings, Germany's off-road history is as deep as it is dangerous. These weren't just machines. They were missions on wheels. Now you know what they were built for and why they'll never be forgotten. Which one would you drive into the wild? Like, subscribe, and comment below if you want Part 2.